again, YouTube family. Thanks for joining me on this video. Please, if you like the videos, give me a like. If you have not subscribed and you like the videos, please subscribe to the channel. Help this channel grow, or not. Today, we're talking about the Arizona audit, as you can see by the graphic to my left. And recently, the Senate Republicans who authorized this audit made a request, subpoena request to the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. And as it is, and this is reported from Vice News, some Arizona Republicans are getting tired of the never-ending election audit taking place in Arizona. Jack Sellers, who is the chairman of the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, labeled the 2020 election recount as an adventure in Never Never Land. Sellers' letter to the Republican senators who authorized the audit. In the letter, Sellers said, "It's now August of 2021. The election of November 2020 is over. If you haven't figured out that the election in Maricopa County was free, fair, and accurate yet, I'm not sure you ever will." And this is Republicans in Arizona who are tired of the audit going on. This is the letter that Jack Sellers sent to the Republican senators in the state. The county commissioner's letter attacked the multiple missed deadlines and its embrace of conspiracy theories. Sellers' letter ended with the threat that whatever claims the people conducting the recount make, they'll have to back it up in court. Sellers said, "Please finish whatever it is you are doing and release whatever it is you are going to release. Be prepared to defend any accusations of misdeeds in court." Sellers' letter was sent along with the board's official response to a request for subpoenas. The subpoena request was sent by Arizona Senate President Karen Fann and Judiciary Committee Chairman Warren Peterson. They had given the county commissioners 1 week to respond to the subpoena request. The Senate's request was seeking access to envelopes from all mail-in ballots, certain voter registration records with change histories, and the network routers and traffic logs. The board had already supplied a number of the items the Senate was demanding in the subpoenas, but said they would not supply the routers because they contained extremely sensitive personal information of Maricopa County citizens, and they were never used to connect voting machines to the internet. The router demand has become a talking point in the pro-Trump circles. QAnon had passed around a theory claiming election results were changed remotely via internet connectivity. Since QAnon floated this conspiracy theory, it was picked up by the folks like Mike Lindell, the MyPillow CEO, and now by Trump himself. From the letter, Sellers was saying there was no fraud, there wasn't an injection of ballots from Asia, nor was there a satellite that beamed votes into our election equipment. It's time for all election officials to tell the truth and stop encouraging conspiracy theories. The company conducting the audit is called Cyber Ninjas. I believe I talked about them before. It is a company out of Florida. The company is run by a Trump sycophant. And the dude running Cyber Ninjas seems to believe in every conspiracy theory that he has ever heard on the internet. Seriously. He seems to believe in everything that he's ever heard on across the computer. The Florida-based company has no experience in election audits. They were hired by the Arizona Senate. Their hand recount of ballots was completed last week. The Senate audit liaison told Vice News the report would be ready by late August or early September. Now, keep in mind, this audit has been ongoing since April 22nd of this year. So, around 4 months. If they release the findings, whatever they call them, from this Cyber Ninjas group, by August 22nd, it will be 4 months. Beyond there, it'll be beyond 4 months that this has been ongoing. Sellers explained to the Senate leaders that the reason the audit is not complete is because they hired people who have no experience and little knowledge of how a professional election is run. Wendy Rogers, an Arizona Senate Republican, suggested jailing the county board members for denying the request. This is the tweet that she had sent out. I would like to know if we have enough solitary confinement cells in Arizona available for the entire Maricopa Board of Supervisors and the execs at the fraud machine company. I assume they're talking about these Smartmatic and the other one that people have been railing about that for no reason. And we are going to need a lot of jail cells she's referring to there. So you have the Republican Board of Supervisors members who have become tired of the audit. It's never ending. The cyber ninjas have constantly missed deadlines. They're not producing the data they claim they could produce in the timely manner they claim they could produce it. And so it's leading to frustration because you have some Republicans, I assume, who are not on board with this ludicrous notion of we can never let go of the 2020 election that Donald Trump lost kind of mentality. They're tired of it. There are people who want to move on. And some of those people are Republicans who want to just move on. But there are those who do not want that to happen. I mean, Wendy Rogers suggested jailing the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors because they would not give access to the routers because of the routers containing sensitive information about individuals. And keep in mind, this is not the Senate Republicans wanted the routers for themselves. They were going to turn them over to a private company from Florida, Cyber Ninjas, who are led by a kook who believes every conspiracy theory known to man, who is doing this audit. And those Board of Supervisors do not know who Cyber Ninjas has hired to do this work. And there have been numerous problems with contamination, worksite contamination. They were instructed not to have pins because pins could be used to try and make illegitimate marks on ballots, and then they were found with pins all over the place during the audit. It has been a mess. And I mean, honestly, anyone with common sense would probably have assumed this was going to be a mess from the get-go, because this is trying to never live down the 2020 election loss where Trump lost to Biden. And, you know, it's just a fact that Trump just lost the damn election. As far as the routers go, this month, I mean, it's August. Today's August 5th. In 5 days starts the symposium, supposedly, that Mike Lindell is going to hold in, I believe, South Dakota, Kristi Noem's state. She's another Trump sycophant. And Mike Lindell, although he's from Minnesota, for whatever reason, he's going to hold this symposium in South Dakota, where Kristi Noem is the governor. And the symposium is, Mike Lindell claims, he's the one who's really been pushing super hard that Trump is going to be reinstated as president in August or September at the latest. And reinstating someone as president is not a thing. There's no constitutional basis for claiming you're going to reinstate someone as president. The path from here to there just does not exist. There's two ways you become president. I've probably talked about this before. You get elected in a presidential election, or you are in the line of succession when something happens to the president, vice president, speaker of the House, whatever. You're the next one in the line of succession. You get elected, or you're in the line of succession. Donald Trump is neither. Now, it's possible that in 2022, next year, in November, Republicans could win back the House. It's possible that Republicans could put Trump in as Speaker of the House, because as they've discovered, there are no rules saying that the Speaker of the House has to be a member of the House. Donald Trump could be Donald Trump, the businessman from Florida, former president, and if Republicans gain control of the House, they could put Donald Trump in as Speaker of the House. And if that happened, we would be in for a real shit show in this country, because Donald Trump would be looking for any way to get Biden and Kamala Harris out of his way so he could become president. Those would be the two people ahead of him. They would be in his way to being president again. That's a possibility. And because then, if that happened, Donald Trump would be in the line of succession. Now, as far as the routers go, this symposium that Mike Lindell is going to do, and I'll probably do a longer video about this later, but he claims to have the packets from the votes. He claims that he has the information, the data, to show that China changed votes. And he's trying to soften it up to the Democrats, saying, well, it's not the Democrats. China just changed these votes remotely and made Biden president. He's like, I'm not saying the Democrats cheated. China did this, and I have the proof. And he's put up this offer of $5 million for you to go there and prove that his data is incorrect, faulty, whatever. There have been a number of cybersecurity experts who have looked at what Mike Lindell has and says that he has nothing. He has some encrypted internet data. It's not even decrypted. And so Mike Lindell, as they were saying, doesn't even really know what he has. But the way it works, for simplicity's sake, if I send an email to you, I type it up on my computer. When I hit send, it gets encrypted and it gets broken up into packets of information. Those packets get shotgun blasted to my ISP, and they are going to individually travel along whatever the fastest route is along the internet to the receiving ISP, who then sends it to your computer when you open it up, and it's from your ISP to your computer. Also, in this shotgun blast of multiple packets of information, your computer, your browser, everything puts it back together, and so when you open it up, it's a legible email. But it's illegible data blocks that are getting shotgun blasted across the internet. And as cybersecurity experts have said, really the only entity that has the ability to capture every one of these packets would be an organization like the NSA. And they're just not buying it that Mike Lindell had some source at the NSA leak packets to him. In addition to that, you have the issue of if China was sending data into the United States, interfering with election transfer of information, that Mike Lindell would capture it and the CIA wouldn't, the NSA wouldn't. All these different security measures we have in place wouldn't catch it, is asinine. On top of that, you have the issue of, in addition to data that gets transmitted from a voting site to the receiving agency in the state, you have the paper ballots. And so when you go to vote, if you vote in person, you sign your name in a booklet next to your printed name. That shows that you showed up and voted, so you can't go show up and vote again. So they have that. Then you go and vote. They have a digital and then a paper copy of your vote. And so when they close the polls at the end of the day, the number of people who have voted at that location has to match the number of signatures they have in their books. The number of paper ballots they have to match the number of people who voted in that voting location. All those things match. And so there's a major breakdown in the logical pathway Mike Lindell's claiming this all happened. I mean, Mike Lindell, and it's sad because from several different people I've heard who have talked to Mike Lindell, he sounds like he is a genuinely nice guy. He's just very ignorant and deluded. I mean, a lot of the cybersecurity experts who are willing to show their name, their credentials, who are willing to talk to major news outlets, because the cybersecurity experts that Mike Lindell has are like, their faces are blurred, their voices are manipulated. You don't know who they are. You don't know what their credentials are. You don't know if they're even some kind of expert in cybersecurity. The cybersecurity that the news media has talked to believes that there is a group of people that are basically taking Mike Lindell for a ride. That's the way they're looking at it. Because Mike Lindell has a lot of money, has been willing to spend a lot of money trying to somehow prove Donald Trump's still president. He claims that, if this was reversed and it was a Democrat, he would do the same thing, which I don't believe. I don't buy one bit. I don't know why Mike Lindell is so married to Donald Trump. I don't know if it was that Mike Lindell was invited to the White House by this guy. Mike Lindell's like, well, the president invited me to the White House. I love this guy. I don't know if it's simply a fact that Mike Lindell makes a lot of money and he wants tax cuts. He wants to keep getting tax breaks. I don't know what marries Mike Lindell to Trump so much. But Mike Lindell is very deep down a rabbit hole, and it is costing him a large sum of money. Even if this is a bunch of people taking him for a ride, he's losing a lot of money. As far as his bet, the $5 million to prove him wrong, the thing is, he has nothing. But as long as he believes his nothing is something, is definitive proof, then you will never be able to win that bet. He's not going to believe you. He'll just keep denying that you're right. You understand? I mean, you can't win that bet. He made a bet that he's not able to lose because he's not willing to accept reality. He's not willing to accept the truth. You have these Republicans in Arizona who are going through with this audit, and I assume that most of them, hopefully all of them, have a college education. Hopefully all of them are decently intelligent. Hopefully they all realize this is bogus, and it's going to end up going nowhere. But all of this garbage is done to try and soothe over the harsh the hard feelings that this little baby we had as president, the emotions he's having over not getting what he wanted. And there are a lot of Trump supporters in that vein. I mean, we had a group of them attack the Capitol on January 6th because they were mad. They didn't get what they wanted. The person they voted for did not win, so they were mad. And they felt they had the right to attack the Capitol because they were mad. They didn't get what they wanted. It's insane. But that's where we're at in 2021. And the thing is, what happens when all of these people, and I mean, I don't know if there are tens of millions of these people that are so far down this rabbit hole that they can't see the sunshine anymore. They can't see the light of reality. What happens in August when Trump's not reinstated? What happens in September when Trump's not reinstated? What happens if Mike Lindell keeps pushing the date back? Oh, well, it's going to be October, then it's going to be November, then it's going to be December, then it'll be January next year, January 20th of 2022, Trump's going to assume the office again. That's January 20th is when the president takes office after elections are over. What happens when Trump never gets back into office? Do these people just give up? Do these people become violent? Do they attack the government again? Are they going to try and kill Democrats and Republicans they don't feel like are sufficiently loyal to Trump? People like Liz Cheney, is her life going to be in danger? Someone like Mike Pence, who they already hate, they were looking to hang him on January 6th. Is his life in danger when reality hits that Trump's not getting reinstated as president? Because there's not such a thing. It doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. There are two ways to become president: being reinstated from being a former president to being president again. That's not something we have set up in this country. The structure doesn't exist for that to happen. It can't happen. And what happens when it doesn't happen? Do people get angry? Do people grab their guns? Mike Lindell is setting this country up for a massive problem because of the BS he's pushing. So even if Mike Lindell is this really nice guy people have met and say he's a really nice guy, really ignorant, really naive, but a nice guy, I don't care that he's a nice guy. If he's setting this country up for violence again, then he's a bad guy. But that's the problem. When you have people with that much money, people who are insanely wealthy and insanely confident in their ignorance. It's very dangerous to have extremely confident, ignorant people. And that's what Mike Lindell is coming across as, a very confident, incompetent person. But I'll end this video just saying, please give me a like, please subscribe if you haven't already, and by all means, leave me comments if you want to criticize me, the video, the way I'm doing it, the way my rhetorical technique. Please, by all means, give me critique. I will accept the good, the bad, and the ugly as far as critiques go. But thanks for joining me on this video, and by all means, have a good day.